What's up, guys? Welcome back. Here to do another video as requested on a couple tricks and tips on the ROBO3D printer. Before I get into it, I want to talk to you about a couple things. Health and safety is most important. I hope everybody's staying in and staying safe during COVID-19. I want to talk to you about some issues that I've experienced the last couple weeks. I have a major project, a new video in the making. I'm going to be making every single batarang. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. Stay tuned for that. However, that said, with working from home, I've been next to my 3D printer every day for about a week straight while it's printing these batarangs off, and I've noticed my health kind of slipping. Noticing shortness of breath, some chest pressures, lots of coughing. I thought it was seasonal allergies or something to that effect. It started getting really bad the other night, so I made a couple of phone calls and I did some research, and it's really important that I talk to you about this because it wasn't on the website, it wasn't on the box. There have been studies now showing that 3D printing in small areas, confined areas, non-ventilated areas can cause some serious issues. So I want to make sure everybody's staying safe and take my advice. I'm not feeling very good, and I've realized now it can be pretty serious. Not to freak anybody out, but things that I've read online with the particles that are emitted from it, it can cause serious damage. Literally, I'm reading it off the screen right now. It gives you asthma-like issues, heart attack, worst case scenario is death. Particles sit inside your lungs and into your brain too. So yeah, it's basically poisoning yourself. So just be really careful. I went out and bought a super expensive air purifier. So I do recommend that. Already I've had it running for about an hour or two and the air is smelling fresher. The indicator light is improving, so it is working, it is doing something. But yeah, it hasn't been fun the last couple nights for me. So yeah, just make sure you're cracking windows, make sure you got it in a ventilated area, get an air purifier if you're going to be running your printer a lot. So I guess that's going to be our first tip, but stay tuned for the upcoming videos. With this downtime, I've been printing a lot of stuff. I have some nostalgic prints that I've done as well. So I'll put that all together just to keep myself busy and to give you guys something to watch. But without further ado, we're going to get into the video. Only going to touch on a couple things today. I really want to talk about the health and safety issue here because how this has affected me, but I'm going to give you some tips today on what to do if you think your motor's failing, because I experienced that. It started making a clunking noise and it was slowing down and eventually stopped printing. So yeah, we'll get into that. And then I have a really cool, I finally found a way, I should say, to make sure that your filament sticks to the bed for your entire print, no matter how long it is. With trying different options, I finally found that really works. So I'm excited to tell you guys about it too. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so as I just talked about, what you're seeing now is the print bed after about a week straight of printing. All that crystallization that's built up is a combination of the filament and the hairspray that I used on the bed, but that's the shit you're essentially inhaling. So you're gonna wanna make sure you give your bed a nice clean after every print. Scrape it up with your scraper, and then I always like to go over it, as you can see here, with some Goo Gone. It cleans everything up real nice, and then you're left with a nice clean print bed for your next print job. So keep it clean, stay safe. All right, so next, has your printer ever sounded like this? Well, mine did. After about 2 years, I thought for sure I had blown the motor because it went from sounding like that to sounding a lot worse, to the point that it stopped printing completely. I thought I'd blown my motor, so I went ahead and ordered a new one. While I was waiting for that new motor, I got impatient, took my printer apart, did a little bit of research online, and found that maybe it wasn't the motor blown. And I'm going to show you what you can do before going ahead and purchasing something, because it turned out fixing my problem. Turned out the teeth were clogged full of old residue and filament and literally just need to be cleaned. So I'm gonna show you the back end of the printer to show you where that is, how to get to it, and how to clean it. All right, so I've turned the printer around, and as you can see, you're gonna take your little screwdriver. You're gonna unscrew these guys right here. I can just do it by hand. Make sure you don't lose anything. once you pop that out, this thing literally just pops down. And I'm not going to take mine out just because I don't need it, but as you can see, we now have the teeth exposed. Literally what you can do, or what I did, was I just took the end of a really sharp knife and went through every single groove. As you can see, I got a little bit in there, but basically you turn it and go through every little groove and pick all that gunk out. And once that was cleaned out, my printer ended up working again. So yeah, so once that's cleaned out, basically all you do is lift the notch back up, put the screws back in, and you're good to go. Hopefully that helps. So just make sure you're adjusting it so the screw isn't showing on the other end, so the filament goes through properly. For more information on that, you can check out my last video and get more into detail and have some diagrams showing what I mean by that. Okay guys, so here's my tip for the best print quality that you can possibly get. I use two programs to print. So what I'll do first is I will use Cura to convert my STL into a G code, and then what I do is I load that into Matter Control to do my printing. The reason why I do that is because when you load a file on an STL, it just starts to print, and usually I use tape or whatever, and sometimes I get stuck on the bottom of the print and causes some issues that I got to clean up, and it's just a pain in the butt. So when you convert it to a G code, yeah, it might add a couple minutes onto your print time. However, what it'll do is it'll create a nice bed for it to print on, so that way there, when your print's done, you peel it off that nice layer of filament that it's created. It gives it a nice smooth edge. Again, it makes a big difference when you're making masks and stuff like that. It's hard to explain, but it works. And to ensure that you are going to get a nice clean print without any misprints, or the print lifting because the bed's cool down or whatever the case may be, the new technique that I use that's been 100% perfect for me every single time is the combination of what everybody already does. All right, now that I got the camera turned around, the first thing you're going to want to do is heat your bed up. While your bed's heating up, spray your hairspray, give that a second, and then what you're going to do is you're going to tape your bed. So as you can see, take your little spatula thing there, smooth it on down, and you'll see underneath that's going to dry up and suck it down. And literally I've done like 2-3 prints in a row where this thing has stayed perfect and no lifts. So yeah. All right, so yeah, hopefully those tips helped. I know this, to me at least, came across more of a public service announcement. However, your health is nothing to mess around with, and I really, again, with how I felt, I needed to get it out there. So hopefully those couple tips and tricks helped. Let me know what you think, leave me a comment, and if I come across any other issues that I need to fix, I will record it and put it out there for you. But yes, stay tuned for my upcoming projects. They're going to be pretty cool. So yeah, until next time. Peace.